The records are now open, and it's been a while. I'm excited to be back with you all. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Akashic Answers with Emily. I'm Emily Harrison, founder, director of the Akashic Academy, and I work with visionaries and thought leaders who are ready to get instantaneous downloads from Universal Mind. Why do we need instantaneous downloads from Universal Mind? Well, if you're watching this and if you are the type of person who cares about your quantum expansion or human potential, you know that now is a time on our planet where so much is shifting and we're being required to step into our higher potential as human beings, which means, first of all, healing ourselves of our karma and our trauma and all of our shit, right? The human has the potential to self-heal. And we're also being required to create new paradigms for our planet, new paradigms when it comes to leadership, which is really, you guys, all about self-leadership. That's what we're being called into. But I think everybody here knows, whether you are invested in the current political climate or not, you know that there's a lot of sovereignty that's been taken away here on our planet, and we are bringing it back by the way that we're showing up and changing and shifting the planet. New paradigms for relationships, for money, for leadership and governing ourselves. So I am so glad that each one of you all are here. Say hello once you get here, like Julie and John and Joe and Shireen. I've missed you all, by the way. I have been off the past 2 weeks with my children on spring break, and it has been phenomenal. I just got back into the office on Monday, and so this is kind of like the first jump back in the seat, the first going live. So I'm really happy you all are here. I'm also, just to share vulnerably and honestly, the last leg of the spring break experience with specifically with my daughter, we went to Salt Lake City for a cheerleading competition, but I knew that I was traveling into a vortex, that there was a personal medicine and up-leveling that was going to be happening for me. So I was very present and aware of the energies, right? And had just awesome, beautiful insights coming in. I'm excited. It's always really good for me, right, to take a break and to fill my soul with medicine and experience. We road tripped, and I did one of three things. I either talked deeply with Viv, which is so cool, just to sit with my co-pilot and hear the depth of her. But I also binge listened to a podcast of one of my very best friends on the planet, Alana Gentry, and the Inspired Grown-Ups podcast. If you have not heard this, you got to check it out. It's everywhere. Find it on any of the platforms. But also time in silence for loops inside of my mind to close and for new vision and new ideas to come in. So I'm really excited to show up with all of you and share what gets to come through because of the self-care. And I encourage you to do self-care too. I'm actually going to do a little more self-care later on today as I'm reintegrating. I always find it really important to care for the physical body after we go through those experiences. So for me, what that looks like is in a couple hours, I've got an energy healing massage and then a sensory deprivation float. So I'll spend an hour in the sensory deprivation tank. And I find that makes me incredibly psychic too. So I love that. Love to know what you guys do for your self-care. So feel free to share that. And let's get down to business, because this is Akashic Answers with Emily. And the goal, weird word, the objective maybe, what we get to do here in this sacred space in Akashic Answers with Emily is dive into the Akashic Records and extract information. And what I call forward in channel for you all is based on, actually I shouldn't even say I call it forward. What is called forward is from you all, and it's based on your questions. So I'm going to invite you to get some questions rolling in here. Remember, let me just give you a couple guidelines on the questions. Don't ask yes or no questions. Ask questions that really invite deep insight intelligence, okay? You also want to be in a space to course correct. So if you're struggling with any situations, what can I learn from this situation is always a really great way to phrase an inquiry so that we can get powerful intelligence coming back in. And let's see, for those, anybody new in the house, by the way, I'm going to give a short little rundown while you're typing your questions in of what the Akashic Records are. But if you are new in the house, please let me know that you're new. And all of our beautiful established guests that come into this space, make our newbies feel welcome, will you? Okay, so the Akashic Records, this realm that I'm tapping into, is the realm of consciousness where all information is programmed from a neutral perspective. So neutrality is actually unconditional love and zero judgment. It is not how we're perceiving our life from a polar perspective. Right? It's one of the advantages and disadvantages of incarnating as human is our perspective limits, which can increase our power because we can focus our power through, a more centralized energy channel, right? We are incredibly powerful creator beings. Yet we also limit how much information that we can actually take in. And so we experience through perspective, okay? Before we incarnate into a human experience, we're connected with source. We're all one. Little bananas. It's great. It's bliss. And there's opportunity for learning through contrast, which is why this opportunity to incarnate as an individual expression of the God energy was created. Part of the reason it was created. This earth school, y'all, is a grand experiment for a lot of different reasons. But we definitely get to experience ourselves as we're awakening. We get to experience ourselves from moving from our limited human perspective, which limits what we can do and what we can create and how we can be. And we get to shift up into this higher mind where we have different thoughts, okay? And the different thoughts are thoughts that come from universal mind, from God mind, from creator, from source, and allow us to have an experience or a perception shift that changes everything about our life. All right, so that's why we want to tap into the Akashic Records. Let's scroll through and get some questions, see some questions that are coming up today. I don't see any questions yet. Miles says, hello from Alberta. John Stewart, hi everybody, I pray you are well. Thank you. We received. Kimberly, yep, she had a massage. Oh, I could use a little hair color too, Miss Kimberly. I got some grays running through there. All right, I'm going to tap in on my phone really quickly here. Pull it up here too, because I know that not everybody comes up here on the StreamYard feed. I think you got to give StreamYard some special indication of yes, you can post my question or comment. So I'm just going to come on to Facebook too. Oh, but I see Stacy's got a great question here. All right. Stacy, what is the best way for me to step forward in my life and what is holding me back? Yes, I love this. All right, if anybody else can relate to Stacy's question, I want to invite you to just receive some intelligence here. It may be the same words that I'm saying, or you may just get your own information coming in. But when a question is sincerely asked in the space of the Akashic Records, you will get insight. And I think that this is probably potent and alive for a lot of you out there is what is the best way for me to step forward in my life? And then taking a look at what's holding you back. All right, so Stacy, I'm going to tap into your energy and we'll just start with the first question. You said, what was the best way for me to step forward in my life? Okay. Here's what I feel like the guides are bringing through for you, Stacy. I feel like they're saying it's time for you to face a fear or a challenge that's been with you for quite some time that you really haven't wanted to look at. And by the way, if this resonates with anybody else out there, this message is for you too. You just want to interpret so that it's symbolically making sense for you. Okay, so Stacy, the guides are saying that it's time to face that biggest fear, that thing that thing that you just haven't wanted to look at, hey, it's time. All right. So first of all, how I would interpret that is, all right, what's the the area where I know that I'm playing small, or a relationship in my life that I know is troublesome and I don't want to correct it for whatever reason. Like, what is the thing that I'm not really looking at right now that I don't want to look at? The cool thing is that thing, whatever it is for each one of you, and everybody has one, the guides are actually confirming that for me right now. It would be valuable if everybody who is listening on this, whether you're listening now or on the replay, found that area for yourself, because the opportunity is an alignment of that particular issue becoming your vehicle for the expansion of your consciousness. Meaning this is the area where you have the ability to grow the most. If you look at and do the work in this area. Okay. Stacy, for you, it feels like it's a relationship thing, but it feels like doing the work in this area is actually going to unlock the breakthroughs that you're looking for in terms of your career and your mission. I'd love to know if that resonates with you. It's almost asking you to be a little counterintuitive, because it feels like you really want progress. It feels like there's a profound vision. Like you're a vision keeper, and you hold a consciousness of a legacy energy here that needs to be established on the planet. And it's really looking at these microcosmic things. Because what I'm hearing, Stacy, is that there's a subconscious pattern playing out, and it will be easy for you to see in the relationship issue if you take radical responsibility and fully step out of victim mode. Okay. Color therapy is just coming in really, really big for you too. The guides are also saying, don't make the work harder than it is. Use color therapy. And it feels like color is a bigger deal than I even am able to realize or understand at this moment. Like maybe it has some other kind of synchronicity for you. All right, so Miss Stacy, if you are still here with us, I would love to know how that resonates with you. And I would also like to bring in an activation from the records for everybody who does want to take the next step of embodiment in their life. Or grow to that next level of consciousness, or increase your frequency, or become more embodied, or create the life that you really want to create. These are all ways of saying the same thing, which is the way we're all personally contributing to the growth and the evolution of the planet, right? We do it in our own personal lives and on our microcosm. All right, so I feel this activation coming in through the solar plexus. I'm just gonna grab my tuning fork right here. All right, so bringing awareness to the solar plexus chakra, where your personal power center is, about 2 inches above the belly button. Also, they want to activate new thoughts, new vision, new ideas of how you can get to show up. Because if you have to address something that has been cyclically, did you understand that one? I can slow down just a little bit and take 2. That has cyclically been an issue. What we're going to be required to do is look at that issue with new thought patterns. So we want to activate our personal power. You can tap on, I have a tuning fork down here, but if you don't happen to have a tuning fork in your pocket or in your hand, just tapping gently on those 2 centers. Third eye, which is in between the brow. This is where vision comes in. New ideas, okay? And then solar plexus, 2 inches above the belly button, personal power center. And if you'd like to receive this activation, just type yes. And again, this is going to allow you to look at the thing that you don't want to look at, the situation that's really sticky, but realizing, okay, this is where all of my magical quantum work can be done right now, the most magical quantum work. I can grow myself the most. I got to look at the situation differently. How am I contributing to this? And then begin to play different roles, play different energies, play different parts. Ooh, that was a good one. Thank you, Stacy. All right, let's go. Let's keep rolling here. Let's see. Couture says, hello, Emily. Thank you. Would love to know about my inner union and how to achieve that if anything comes from my Akash. Ooh, thank you for this. Okay. Sorry. Can I just call you Kay? Thank you. Okay. I'm going to tap into your energy, Kay. Okay. Okay, Kay. This is a good one. The inner union and the marriage of the masculine and feminine energy is coming forward very strong for you. And it feels like this, a sacred union. I would use the term sexual alchemy, meaning aligning the masculine and feminine energies within. And then, just to be perfectly blunt, and I don't go here all the time, but using the sexual energies of how we move that energy through our body, how we bring ourselves into orgasm, how we purposefully release that energy onto the planet, which one reason I don't go into it very often is because it truly is definitely one of the top 3 fastest ways to move ourselves into a state of enlightenment. However, our current society has, in the process of the programming of our minds that have caused us to repress and suppress and bring shame and XYZ into this topic, we've suppressed our power, we've misaligned our power, we've misused our power. There's a lot of rebuilding for the massive amounts of society in this area, which is why sexual alchemy isn't something that should be, experimented with from everybody out there. It can also bring up really deep trauma if we've had trauma. And again, part of I'm hearing it in these words, and I don't necessarily like these words, but I feel like you're going to get it and you're going to resonate with it. But in the overall plan to thwarting the darkness is what I'm hearing. I don't know if that means that we're overcoming the darkness or if the darkness is coming in. But those that are in power, that are here to suppress our sovereignty and to control and to manipulate, right? That part of the mental constructs that we must be indoctrinated in order to stay suppressed in our energy and our power has to do with complete confusion and mistrust and trauma around our most potent energy, which is our life force energy and our sexual energy. Okay. And Kay, I'm feeling that you're being invited to look at that and to see how that symbolically resonates with you within your being. And I feel like it's a compliment that the guides are coming in and bringing that intelligence forward. I personally don't find that, again, that even drops into the field of awareness unless a being has done a high level of work. And at this point in time, I'm also hearing that those who are being invited into exploring this practice and expanding on, creating new, assimilating, like there's always evolution. That would be a great word. Those who are being invited to have awareness of this practice and to evolve this practice to prepare for when the rest of humanity catches up, that you're here to change the planet. It's a beautiful compliment. All right, so Kay, I would love to know if that resonates with you. And let's see, I'm going to bring in Franz Elliott in the house. Jennifer Green, too. Hello, everybody. Lori, so good at the Ames. Thank you all for being here with me. Feels good. Even upon re-entry from being away for a while, I find that just showing up and connecting and being with you all gives me such a boost of energy. I love you. Thank you all for being here. All right, so let's bring in an activation around this energy. Okay, so let's do this. Let's just bring in healing energy around any of our sexual trauma, because the invitation to work with our creative life force energy in a different way, I feel like, is coming forward for everybody. No, not everybody's ready to charge down the path of sexual alchemy. Kathy Hoymeyer in the house. Good to see you too. However, I do feel like we are all ready to explore whatever the next phase of our own healing is. Okay, there's lots of shame. I mean, there's all kinds of ways that let's just bring in a group healing here. I won't even go into all of the different ways. All right, but bringing awareness. Oh, this is cool. I'm actually wearing orange. Didn't really realize that that would be such a powerful connection, but we're going to work in the womb chakra, the sacral chakra, which is orange in color. And again, this is where your life force energy, your creative energy is. And if you've had sexual trauma or just stuffed emotion that you haven't dealt with, which is, bringing us back to the first question that we dove into around, what is it that you don't want to face, and going into what you don't want to face. All of that is stored within the womb energy. So I'm just going to do some, it feels like light language wants to come through. So just receive this, breathe and receive this energy, focusing on the womb chakra. Breathing. Feel any movement that needs or that you intuitively are just noticing that your body goes into. Allow that to, there's that color therapy coming in. Allow your body to just know how it needs to move, to allow the energy to leave and escape where it's been held in the cells and in like the hips and the pelvis. Good. Good job, everybody. All right, I noticed Vivian just texted me, can I pick you up from school? Well, not right now because I'm live. Can you or Jack pick me up? Girl, need to learn how to teleport, I'm telling you. All right. Kay says, thank you so much. That really resonates. Oops, where did that go? That's wrong. It's coming. Okay. Very cool. All right, let's grab another question here. Kimberly Griffith, so good to see you. Hi, Emily. I would love to know if there is a particular country I should visit on my journey that will allow more growth and understanding on my path. Okay, yes. Like the energy of the Isles, Scotland, Ireland coming in. Have you seen Outlander, Kimberly? There's that stone circle specifically from Outlander is just so alive in my mind and my field right now. Depending on where you're going, that can be a great place for you. I'm also feeling Mary Magdalene lines for you and visiting cathedrals. Le Sacré-Cœur is what I just heard. I believe that's in France. Oh, yeah. You've got definitely have some ancient, very ancient divine feminine energy coming in that would like to be activated by acknowledging any one of the ascended masters or divine feminine deities that are associated with the location of where you're going. Okay, so it also is coming through, like if it was Egypt that you were going to, go to, like everything Isis, Hathor, be in that frequency of the divine feminine and seek out that energy of the ancient divine feminine and mysticism wherever you are. And it's going to be found in nature or cathedrals, sacred sites. But you might want to, okay, and I'm also hearing you might want to do a mix of both. You might want to find the cathedral setting or the more consecrated set, or what would seem like a more consecrated setting, like consecrated meaning people had visited this space. But there are also more like vortexes and spots in nature as well that feel like they might be less consecrated, but perhaps even more powerful. And to find these sites, okay? And The specific grid points that I found coming in around, like I said, the Isle, Scotland, Ireland, and then the Mary Magdalene energy and the Sacre-Cœur, and then like we jumped around to Egypt a little bit. What I feel like is the bigger commonality is that you want to find the divine feminine energy, the deity or the ascended master that's represented in that space. And then again, visiting the built, consecrated temples. And then also, you feel Stonehenge, Isle of Arran in Hawaii. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's Pele in Hawaii. Okay, so I would find, you know, probably the volcano and then some other sort of physicalized structure. I think I've already hit it. I don't think I have to keep going over and over and over again. Okay, so let's call in an activation for, how about let's do a little astral travel right now. So I want everybody to take a deep breath in. And at the end of your exhale, at the very end of your exhale, a location is going to pop into your mind. All the way out. Wait till all the air is wrung out. Get it all out. Go, go, go. Okay, now, what's there? And go there now. Allow your soul to be transported into that space. And there's an activation, a unique and individual activation that is in alignment with your soul mission. Kimberly, thank you for bringing this forward for all of us. This is very fun and imaginative play. It's allowing you to activate ancient memory. I don't know, y'all hear Apollo out there? Or does it just sound like I'm meowing? I'm meowing back. Holla back, yo. And just breathing while this realignment of your energy field happens so that you have this, it's almost like how I'm seeing it is that the, it would be like fiber optics almost that carry information from this ancient time back into your cells. Oh, I got a little excited. Are re-illuminating. They're clearing, almost like arteries. You can look at them as arteries too. So that this information, this awareness, this intelligence is able to be known, be remembered inside of your body, inside of your cells. It's able to communicate with you. And now the really cool part is I get to invite you all to watch for the evidence of a knowingness that comes through that is beyond what you've experienced in this lifetime. Okay? Your job now is to acknowledge that when it happens to you, when you see it, and to track it. See if you can trace it back to, oh yeah, I went there on that astral travel and I located that information. Okay. Right on. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I'm going to wrap up here today. Let me just see if there are any other messages or activations that want to come in. Just really powerful awareness to this next new moon that's coming up on April 1st. We're going into a time of creation, and it's an Aries, or a time of getting firm on our intentions, right? Getting clear on what it is that we want to plant in those fertile seeds of the soil. And it's really all about passion. Okay, so the guides really want to encourage you, spend time with yourself, if you haven't checked in with yourself and what makes you passionate in a while, do that. Set some intentions to explore and experience and actualize. Like be a person who is moving in alignment and time and rhythm with your passion and what it is that you want to do here on the planet. All right, Julian says, wow, feeling a really strong pull to Apollo. So interesting. Yep, that little kitty, we call him Le Chat, which is the cats in French. It's not even the cat, but whatever. We like it. Oh, you guys brought in some powerful places today. I see Shasta. We take a trip there once a year. Yes, Stacy. It's one of our big vortex locations. It's actually, Mount Shasta will be our next retreat experience. It's happening over Lionsgate in August, and you will begin to see the application process and invitations for those of you who want to experience that. Bill and the Skull will be on location with us. So if you want information before you start seeing the prompts and the campaign come out from the Academy, feel free to reach out to me personally. I'd love to have a conversation with you about that. Sedona, that's the other spot where right now, I should say, we at the Akashic Academy are taking visionaries and thought leaders into the vortexes to have an incredibly amplified experience of their consciousness. I just love you all so much. I don't want to go. And it's time. Kimberly says, wow, that was an amazing time. Like Outlander. Cool. Yes. I would love to hear about, if anybody had a powerful experience in that astral travel that we were doing there, please feel free to share in the comments. I think it's part of our growth process and really helps us unpack. Hi, Mama's in the house. We're about to go, Mom. But I'm glad you're here and I love you and it's good to see you. You'll be proud of me. I'm taking the afternoon off for self-care, Mama. I got a massage and a float over at my favorite place. Plug Healing One. Support local business. I love the Healing One spa here. So, all right. I love you all. I will see you back here again very soon. Take care of yourselves. Namaste.